Hi Booktube, I am Nadine and welcome to my channel Widely Reading. This is my very first video for Booktube and I think actually forever. And so I am going to start with the newbie tag. There are 10 questions on it, but I've grouped them in a different order that seemed to make more sense to me. So the first ones are all about me and the next ones are all about the channel. So the ones about me start with, why do you love reading? Well, I suspect we all love reading for the same reason. You know, as Dr. Seuss said, oh, the places you'll go, right? I mean, you can be in outer space and you could be in prehistory, and what could be more absorbing and engaging than that? Next question, when did you start reading? I don't remember not reading. Next question, what book or series got you into reading? Well, the closest I can get, I have two memories of reading specific books. The first one is when I was maybe about 8 or so, and it was when the librarian at school let me go from the children's hardback book area, the little kid books, to the books in the back for the bigger kids. And the first book that I picked up there, I think, was Johnny Tremain. And that was the book that blew my mind because it brought me back in history to another time. It was totally different from the little kid books, and I was hooked. The other specific book I can remember is from high school, and that was when I was in the library and I noticed this big fat book, and drawn immediately to big fat books, and it was William Shire's The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, of all books. And I picked that up, and that one blew my mind because I had no idea that history could be so fascinating. I thought history was all textbooks, which were really boring. Oh, I also do remember that I think when I was 18, a friend of mine and we read Even Cowgirls Get the Blues, and we just loved that book. I don't remember much about it now, but I know we called each other jelly beans, so that had something to do with the book. All right, next question. Where do you read? I read when I'm home. I read in my reading chair, and one of my dogs, my little dog, loves that chair, and she won't share, so I get the chair if I want to read. Otherwise, if I'm out, I always bring reading material wherever I go. I'm never without something to read because the apocalypse could strike, there could be some sort of natural disaster, and if I'm conscious, I want to be reading. So always have a book with me. My next questions, these are all the channel questions. So why did you start this channel? I am starting it because I think Booktube is such a glorious place. Where else can I go to find readers as passionate about books as I am, who are willing to talk about it? A passion and an interest that I don't find with friends in real life. They like to read, but you know, I can tell that I'm getting too excited and they're going, all right now. So this is my place. And I'm starting a channel because there can't be too many Booktube channels. The bigger it gets, the better. Next question. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Well, first of all, I think uniqueness is kind of overrated, right? We're all unique. I mean, we're all a special snowflake. But there is one thing that might be different about mine, and that is that because my house is an open floor plan and I really can't keep the dogs out of my hearing of video hearing, I will have this. So I've got that all prepared for when the barking starts. You never know when there's going to be a squirrel, there's going to be a dog walking by the window, and all hell breaks loose. And you see the two culprits there. And it's mostly the little one that does all the barking. Next question. What are you most excited about for this channel? Well, I'm just excited to meet more book lovers maybe have a little conversation between us, and just enjoying the glory that is Booktube. What questions would you ask your favorite Booktubers? Well, right now, my most urgent questions are about editing, since I have no clue. And that's the part that worries me the most. I'd also like to ask them how much time they spend, the learning curve, and how are you? Okay, and now we've got the best question for last, which is, what do I read? So broadly speaking, I read literary fiction, but to me that just means fiction in any genre at all that is written from the creative heart of the author and not by formula for commercial purposes. Within that big category, I especially like speculative fiction, which to me is fiction set in the real world but has something odd going on. I love historical fiction, and not only fiction that immerses you in a different time and place, but that also has an angle. And I'm going to make a future video that explains that and gives examples. I love science fiction. My favorite science fiction author is Ursula Le Guin, but I like all kinds of subgenres within that. Let's see, what else do I read? I'm starting to read a little bit of horror because a couple of my favorite authors are heading in that direction, and that would be Keith Rawson and Lauren Beukes, B-E-U-K-E-S. Let's see, what else? I read translated fiction as much as I can. I like to find small press books when I can. And I find that I've been in some Goodreads groups for a long time, and I get wonderful tips from those readers. The only other thing I want to say about reading is I think there is no such thing as should when it comes to reading, that anything you want to read is a should. Anything you want to read is great. And I think that is all I have to say for now. So thank you for being here. Much appreciated. I would love to hear some comments if you have any. I would love to know what you're reading. And be well, be good, be kind, take care, and bye.